I see that Bill Gates, old Billy Boy, is back in India and he's again talking up the benefits of a society where everyone is completely tracked and monitored. And he's calling it digital public infrastructure.
Digital public infrastructure.
Digital public infrastructure, which sounds like a cozy collection of words that the moronic masses are just going to embrace without question.
Digital public infrastructure. And so that all starts, with an Aadhaar identity, listing those farmers, getting the information, making sure it's up to date.
Bill Gates says a merge of biometric digital ID, bank accounts and payment systems is needed. It's needed to safely monitor people's health records, keeping tabs on farmers and tackling climate problems. It's amazing that only 3 years ago we were called crazy fringe of society conspiracy theorists for suggesting that Gates was trying to implement societal controls.
What they showed is that they've registered the farmers and registered what type of crops they grow and what land they own. They literally have a control center. When you walk in, you think, wow, this is agriculture, but you've got a command center and maps, and that digital public infrastructure will help us with these climate problems.
He wants more biometrics, which translates as more control. He even mentions a control centre, which tracks all registered farmers along with the crops that they're growing, information on the land that they own, and so on. So again, very odd, given that just 3 years ago, ABC taxpayer-funded journalist Sarah Ferguson, while interviewing Bill Gates, set him up with a scripted question for his also scripted answer on conspiracy theories, all with the aim of ridiculing anyone who thought he might be in the business of societal control.
A virulent conspiracy theory emerged during the pandemic that you were using vaccines, using the vaccine rollout to control people, even to the extent of people claiming you wanted to insert chips inside them.
Now, biometrics doesn't necessarily mean implanted chips, but it's on that path. Fingerprints, facial recognition technology and so on. Wearable chips, which are currently available, added with the inability of people to just put the bloody phone down for a couple of minutes, is inevitably going to lead to implanted chips. In fact, we know that trials on these types of chips have been taking place for years. They report on it with pride, like this is the best thing to ever happen and that we should be grateful. In fact, we should be fighting over each other for the chance to be the first one to get chipped. But then in other news reports, they'll simultaneously tell us that we're insane for suggesting that chips might be getting implanted into people to control society. The average idiot in the street will probably start chanting for more digital public infrastructure in the same way that they demanded more COVID boosters. Do you remember all of that? Back then, it was sometimes only a few months between something going from being conspiracy theory to fact.
Now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person. A vaccinated person gets exposed to the virus does not infect them. The virus cannot then use that person to go anywhere else.
You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
It is a safe and effective product.
Well, what's really excellent is, and it's a statistic that I think should be shouted from the rooftops, is that after 12 days from the first vaccination of the AstraZeneca vaccine, you are 100% effective against hospitalization and death.
I have no doubt that this vaccine is safe and effective. I would not give it to my patients if I thought there was any chance that there was be a major side effect that would come out.
It went from safe and effective and you get the jab and you ain't going to get COVID to, well, you'll still catch COVID, but... And then there was this slippery slope of experts in their various percentages. It went 90% effective and then 80% effective, 70% effective, and then actually, do you know what? Just keep getting the boosters to help keep Big Pharma's stock prices healthy. It's crazy. We asked them about side effects and we were told we were being stupid. And a few months later, the same question was met with, no one ever said it was 100% safe and effective. Now, on a side note, I make fun of Indians sometimes, and I see it as a reciprocal arrangement. I make fun of them, they make fun of me.
Good evening, sir. I don't want to pay for things. I want free things. I don't want to pay for my doctor. I should have a free doctor. Motherfucker, why must you assume she is an immigrant and not a citizen? Go back to where you come from and take your disgusting fish and chips with you. Hey, babe, I want to touch. Why not I be touching? Why can't I touch? I will touch you. I will touch. I want to take her wicket with my bat and ball.
But hey, my brown friends, Bill Gates is taking the piss out of you. He thinks you are stupid.
Another place that India leads, but there's a lot more that all of you can be involved in driving forward.
He sweet talks you with statements like, India lead the way in these areas, or no country is more capable in blah, blah, blah than India. You know, it's basically India #1 country. Bill likes India very much.
You know, no country is more able to take government benefits and get them out efficiently and effectively to their citizens than India.
And he says these things to butter you up, to accept whatever freaky plan he has for you. He's placating you like a baby, or perhaps cajoling you is a more appropriate word.
A virulent conspiracy theory emerged during the pandemic that you were using vaccines, using the vaccine rollout to control people, even to the extent of people claiming you wanted to insert chips inside them.
Sarah fucking Ferguson. She has that feminist boss lady energy. Could never be wrong about anything. She's got such a false, unearned sense of her own self-worth. And she's acting as the mouthpiece for Bill and total societal control, probably unknowingly, because she's not smart enough to realise that she's a tool being used by the machine. So how long does it take to go from being ridiculed by journalists for believing in a so-called conspiracy to that conspiracy coming true? Well, sometimes it's just a couple of months, and sometimes it takes 2 to 3 years. And when do the smug journalists who ridiculed you start issuing public apologies?